Napheesa Collier absolutely hooked Angel Reese's ass last night. 8 of 13, 61.5%, 26 points in 25 minutes and 53 seconds. She scored 26 in 26 minutes.
What happens when a player who prioritizes personal stats meets a team that prioritizes winning? On May 10th, we got our answer when Napheesa Collier and the Minnesota Lynx systematically dismantled Angel Reese and the Chicago Sky's game plan, holding her to just 3 rebounds and 10 points in 25 minutes of play.
Angel Reese, preseason, part 2, let's get it! What they say about layups, harder than nuclear physics. Bang! She's a point forward now, and nobody's more excited than opposing defenses. Time for the vintage underhand scoopity shot from 3 feet. Yep, there it is. Bang!
This wasn't just another preseason matchup. It was a preview of what happens when the spotlight shifts from social media to actual basketball. Did the Lynx expose Reese's double-double streak for the fraud it is? What does Reese's new coach have to say about Reese's role in the team? Stick around as we break down the game footage, how Collier destroyed Reese, the shocking aftermath, and whether people watch for Reese too. If you think watching Reese brick layups is funny, comment baby giraffe down below. Let's go.
I think Angel Reese fans are going to be happy because she's playing away from the rim, a long way away from the rim, and those rebound numbers and those double-doubles are about to take a back seat. So guess what? Padding the stats is not going to work out.
Before the May 10th matchup, Angel Reese appeared confident, posting about her readiness to dominate and even saying she's not used to losing. But when she faced Napheesa Collier and the Minnesota Lynx, reality hit hard. The self-proclaimed rebounding machine managed just 3 rebounds in 25 minutes of play. That's not a typo. 3 rebounds from a player who built her entire reputation on grabbing her own bricks off the glass.
I don't want to give away the farm, but Angel was 2 of 8 from the field. 2 of 8 from the field. 4 rebounds, 6 assists, 10 points.
The game footage shows exactly how Collier dismantled Reese's game. From the opening tip, Collier established position first, using her body to box Reese out. Instead of reaching over players like she did in college, Reese found herself struggling against a defender who understood positioning and timing perfectly. Watch the second quarter sequence where Reese tried 3 times to establish deep post position. Each time, Collier denied the entry pass, forcing Reese further from the basket. When Reese finally got the ball, Collier's defensive footwork forced her into an off-balance shot that clanked off the rim. No rebound opportunity, no second chance points.
The McDonald's sponsoring the first ever fry cook in the WNBA. Bag work is off the dollar menu, man. What is this junk? Bang! Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there, and most importantly, Mother Teresa, Mother Nature, and Mother 2. I'm watching because of me too. Bang! Did you know a croissant's most important ingredient is butter? Yes, butter, butter, butter pecan!
Reese's shooting told the same story. 2 for 8 from the field, including 0 for 1 from 3-point range. Her only real production came at the free throw line, where she converted 6 of 8 attempts. Without her usual putbacks and second chance opportunities, Reese's offensive game looked completely ordinary.
Look at these stats. This was some first quarter action. 5 points, 4 assists, 1 steal, 1 for 4 from the field. Missed drive layup, missed 6 foot, leading taking 2, missed drive, lead taking layup. It's going to be another one of those years, folks.
The Lynx team defense deserves credit too. When Reese did manage to get the ball, help defenders swarmed, forcing her into difficult shots or passes. The Sky's second quarter was particularly brutal. They shot just 25% from the field with only 4 made baskets. Meanwhile, the Lynx poured in 23 points to take a 48-42 lead into halftime.
Collier, I mean, my God, 26-5. Absolutely crazy. Okay, the lack of practice or fatigue from her social life is showing itself with Angel Reese. She's doing a lot of watching and slow on defense. Also not communicating. She literally stood there and watched Fee backdoor to the rim for a layup from a pass.
Reese's first half was especially telling. She attempted only 3 shots and missed them all, with her only points coming from free throws. This wasn't just an off night. It was a complete neutralization of her game by a superior defensive player and team. While Reese struggled to make any impact, Collier dominated on both ends. She finished with 26 points on an efficient 8 of 13 shooting in just under 26 minutes. Add 5 rebounds, a steal, and a block, and it's clear who the better player was that night. Collier showed why she's an MPV candidate, while Reese looked like she's still figuring out professional basketball.
Caitlin Clark has 0 free throw attempts. Did the refs swallow the whistle? Well, Angel's got 30. Who has the special whistle again? Oh, okay, yeah, that's right. I remember Angel Reese talking about they must have a special whistle out there. Yeah, this person says, my brain genuinely hurts watching Angel Reese fans interact.
One fan on social media suggested the Lynx figured out how to stop Angel Reese. The evidence supports this claim. By taking away her rebounding advantages, Collier exposed the limitations in Reese's overall game. Without those second-chance points and putbacks, her offensive impact disappeared almost entirely.
If I'm being honest, is Angel headed towards a 12-point, 6-rebound, 4-assist kind of season? In other words, being a character actor and not the superstar of this team?
To Reese's credit, she did showcase some playmaking ability with 5 assists, suggesting she's trying to expand her game beyond traditional power forward responsibilities. But when your primary skills are neutralized this thoroughly, it raises serious questions about your effectiveness at the professional level.
And look, Angel had a real nice assist last night.
For efficiency.
I'm not going to lie.
Off
Here
the
we go
miss.
right here down the court.
Kia Nurse
Looks like maybe
pushes
Nurse
the pace
with
up
the ball
for Chicago.
down to Reese.
Top of the
Look
key,
at
it's
this
Reese. Bounce pass,
right in there for a
Banham.
layup.
Rachel Banham with the cut off the nice pass from
Rachel
Reese.
That
Chicago's
was
for
nice. It
efficiency.
was nice, no doubt.
This matchup wasn't just a bad game, it was a blueprint for how to shut down Angel Reese. Collier demonstrated that proper positioning, basketball IQ, and disciplined team defense can completely nullify Reese's physical advantages. With her on-court dominance questioned, Reese's other bold claims deserve scrutiny too. She says people watch women's basketball because of her. If that's true, then why aren't fans showing up to her games?
Yeah, the reason why we watching women's basketball is not just because of one person, it's because of me too, and I want y'all to realize that.
People watch women's basketball for me too. That's what Angel Reese told reporters after being drafted by the Chicago Sky. Bold words from a newcomer, especially one claiming to be the main reason people watch women's basketball. But do the numbers back this up?
We're going to find out very quickly who amongst the Chicago Sky fans are really and truly basketball fans, or are they Angel Reese, the content creator fans? Because, and you got some of those folks obviously tuning in for basketball, but is it because of Angel Reese or for the best interest of the Chicago Sky team and you want to see them win ball games?
Let's look at the facts. Reese's highly anticipated homecoming game at LSU drew just 6,300 fans in a 13,000-seat arena. That's less than half capacity. Think about that for a second. This was her triumphant return to the campus where she won a national championship, yet thousands of seats remained empty. The situation in Chicago isn't any better. Despite Reese being the hometown star for the Sky, their home preseason game attracted only 4,600 fans. That's a shockingly low number for a major market like Chicago. Even when the Sky traveled to Minnesota to face the Lynx, with both Reese and fellow sophomore Camila Cardoso on the court alongside Napheesa Collier, attendance topped out at just 7,600.
Angel Reese's mom taking to X to tweet this. After all of the hullabaloo about Caitlin Clark and the high ratings, she says, that certain fan base looking in the stands celebrating attendance, while others are looking up in the rafters celebrating championship banners. We ain't the same. Different year, same haters. Have a great day. Well, all right. It is a different year, and it is the same haters, but I think you're calling yourself out, Mama Reese.
These numbers aren't just disappointing. They completely contradict Reese's claim about her drawing power. If she's truly that girl who brings fans to women's basketball, why are there so many empty seats at her games? The contrast with Caitlin Clark couldn't be more striking. Clark's preseason game in Iowa sold out in just 27 minutes. Not 27 days or 27 hours. 27 minutes. That's the definition of star power. When Clark faced Brazil in a preseason matchup, the game drew 1.3 million viewers on ESPN, outperforming 55 of the 57 NBA preseason games aired since 2010.
It's Caitlin Clark mania, and here we go again. 1.3 million people tuned in on Sunday afternoon to see Caitlin Clark return to Iowa as a professional and start raining in three-pointers from ridiculous distances.
The WNBA are moving Clark's games to larger venues, specifically to accommodate the overwhelming demand. Teams across the league are scrambling to find bigger arenas when Clark comes to town. Meanwhile, Reese's games struggle to fill even half the available seats. This pattern tells us something important about the difference between social media fame and actual marketability. Reese has millions of followers and gets plenty of attention online. Her trash talk and feuds generate clicks and comments. But when it comes to putting fans in seats, the true measure of a sports star's drawing power, the results speak for themselves.
To put this into context, 1.3 million. You may say, well, what does that really mean? What does a game ordinarily get? Listen to this. Only 2 of ESPN's 57 NBA preseason games that they've aired since 2010 have scored a higher rating than Caitlin Clark taking Brazil to the woodshed and laying it to them out there. In both of the NBA games that rated higher involved LeBron.
The upcoming season opener between Reese's Sky and Clark's Fever will be particularly telling. Will fans show up to see Reese, or will they be there for Clark? Based on what we've seen so far, the answer seems obvious. The hard truth is that Reese's impact appears limited to social media engagement rather than ticket sales and in-person support. Her online presence doesn't translate to filled arenas or increased revenue for the WNBA. That's the real test of stardom in professional sports. Not followers or likes, but fans willing to pay money to see you play. Despite these challenges, the Sky's front office continues to support their controversial player. But how long will that support last if the empty seats continue?
So apparently Caitlin Clark playing against a bunch of people you've never heard of, and I can't imagine how bad this Brazil team is. That actually rates higher than 55 of 57 NBA preseason games that they've aired. If you want to know how popular Caitlin Clark is, if you're wondering if any of the mania has worn off, the early indications for year 2 of Caitlin Clark as a professional is that no, our public has by no means gotten enough of this young woman's talent just yet.
Angel Reese once claimed she's the reason people watch women's basketball. But this obsession with personal glory might have cost her previous coach her job. Teresa Weatherspoon's firing after just one season with the Chicago Sky shocked the basketball world. A WNBA legend brought in to build a winning culture was shown the door after only 40 games. What went wrong?
We want to make sure that there continues to be structure, discipline, accountability, just championship mindset, and we want the Sky to continue to be a place that people want to be long-term.
The numbers tell a painful story. The Sky limped to a 13-win, 27-loss record, missing the playoffs entirely. This wasn't because of lack of talent. Some players actually set career highs in individual stats. Angel Reese herself broke records, averaging 13.1 rebounds per game. But those impressive numbers masked a deeper problem.
The very definition of stat padding, you are down by 22 points, and you've got the Fever's bench player, bench player, bench player, bench player, bench player, playing against bench player, bench player, bench player, bench player, starter, just so that she can get her double-double.
Watch the game footage from last season, and you'll see a team that looked completely disjointed. Possessions frequently ended with isolation plays or forced shots. The ball movement just wasn't there. Players seemed more focused on padding their own stats than creating quality shots for teammates. Take that game against Indiana last August. Reese grabbed 16 rebounds but shot a miserable 4 for 15 from the field. On multiple possessions, she forced up contested shots in traffic rather than kicking out to open shooters. The Sky lost by 12 points, and the locker room tension was visible in the post-game interviews.
According to league sources, Weatherspoon had lost the locker room because of a culture that catered to the needs of a few players. Dear Lord.
This disconnect between personal achievements and team success created friction. The mid-season trade of Marina Mabrey, their most reliable three-point shooter, made matters worse. The team's record tanked after her departure, making it even more obvious that something wasn't working. Exit interviews revealed players were frustrated with Weatherspoon's approach. They felt her focus on individual development came at the cost of team cohesion. Some players mentioned communication breakdowns and tactical decisions that seemed to prioritize showcasing certain players over winning games. The front office finally had enough. The trade-off between personal accolades and team wins was simply too steep. When Weatherspoon was fired, Reese tweeted, "I came to Chicago because of you." This reaction shows just how close the two were, possibly too close for the team's good.
Look, as an organization, we just, felt it was time to make a change. There's just private issues that I think we will keep just in the Sky locker room.
Could Weatherspoon have saved her job if she'd reined in Reese's stat-hunting ways? We'll never know. But one thing's clear. In professional basketball, empty stats don't keep coaches employed. Double-doubles mean nothing if they don't translate to wins. And now, Angel Reese faces her biggest test yet. Napheesa Collier isn't just any defender. She's a defensive specialist who doesn't care about your Instagram followers or how many rebounds you average. She cares about shutting you down completely. Despite Angel Reese's struggles, Chicago Sky general manager Jeff Pagliocca stands firmly behind his controversial player. She wants to compete, she wants to win. She's somebody that puts that above everything else, Pagliocca said recently. He even defended her off-court activities, claiming, with all the time that she puts into building her brand and flying all over the world, she still has proven to us time and time again she puts basketball first.
Did Caitlin Clark make Angel Reese point at the ring finger back at LSU? Did Caitlin Clark make Angel Reese hop up off the bench like a member of Cobra Kai when Kennedy Carter cheap-shotted Caitlin? Does Caitlin Clark make Angel Reese complain about everything? She can't afford to pay her rent. She can't do this. She can't do that. A lot of whining. But then all of the narcissistic comments at the same time. And maybe she comes by it honest.
Strong words from management, but the pressure's mounting. Can Reese prove she's more than just Instagram followers and viral moments? The stats from her matchup with Collier suggest she has serious work to do. New Sky head coach Tyler Marsh seems to understand the problem. He's implementing an offensive plan designed to maximize Reese's strengths while minimizing her weaknesses. Instead of positioning her in crowded areas under the basket where her rebounding becomes ineffective against skilled defenders, Marsh wants to put the ball in Reese's hands on the perimeter. This approach lets her create off the dribble and make multiple moves around the basket with single coverage.
Oh, Angel Reese fans fixing to be mad as hell. They gonna be mad as hell because if she plays off the rim like that, it's gonna be ugly.
Reese herself recognizes the need to evolve. She's been working on expanding her range, specifically focusing on three-point shooting during practices and pre-game warm-ups. "I can't be the same player as last year," Reese admitted. She's working on finding the right spots for her shots and recognizing when to let it fly. This growth will be tested immediately in the season opener against Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever. There's no hiding from this matchup. It's a direct comparison between two players with very different approaches to the game. Clark's team-first mentality versus Reese's individual stat focus. The contrast couldn't be clearer. The Sky has also revamped their roster to support Reese's development. Veterans like Courtney Vandersloot and Ariel Atkins bring experience and leadership. Vandersloot's brilliant playmaking should create better spacing, keeping Reese and fellow sophomore Camila Cardoso from facing constant double teams. This could help Reese become more efficient on offense without needing to force shots.
The Chicago Sky might be better than we think. Angel Reese fans are not going to be happy, though, because of the way she's going to be used in this offense. So we're going to find out who are the basketball fans and who are not the basketball fans. Wait a minute. Angel should have had 16 and 13 tonight, but they're playing her away from the rim. Cardoso's sitting over there having 18 and 14 and 5 block shots.
But basketball is ultimately about winning, not individual accolades. For Reese to truly succeed, she'll need to prioritize team success over personal stats. Her shooting percentage last season, 39.1%, and three-point shooting, just 3 of 16, needs significant improvement. Her decision-making must evolve beyond hunting rebounds and forcing shots. The path forward is clear. Reese needs to embrace team basketball, improve her shooting efficiency, and channel her competitive energy toward winning games rather than filling stat sheets. If she can make this transition, she might become the player she claims to be. But if she continues prioritizing personal glory over team success, the gap between her and players like Clark will only widen. The WNBA is unforgiving to players who can't adapt. The question isn't whether Reese has talent, she clearly does. The question is whether she'll use that talent to help her team win games. That's what separates stars from social media personalities.
For May the 17th in Indianapolis, Indiana, when the season is going to be kicked off with the Ali Frazier of our generation, Caitlin Clark hosting the Chicago Sky and Angel Reese. The Indiana Fever at Gamebridge Fieldhouse in Indianapolis.
Women's basketball stands at a crossroads, and Angel Reese faces a choice. Will she continue chasing personal stats and social media clout, or adapt her game to contribute to winning basketball? The evidence is pretty clear. The gap between her and players like Clark and Collier isn't narrowing, it's widening. The empty seats at Reese's games tell a story that Instagram followers can't change. Meanwhile, arenas sell out in minutes when Clark comes to town. That's no coincidence. The WNBA is growing because of players who understand team success matters more than individual glory. The numbers don't lie about who's really driving that growth. If you think watching Reese brick layups is funny, comment Baby Giraffe down below. Like, subscribe, and turn on all notifications so you never miss out. Click the video on the screen, and we will see you in the next one.